And we are live. We have a very, very fun live show today. Whether you're watching live right now, whether you're watching the replay later on, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Today, we have a very unique live show, something that I've been waiting to do for quite some time. And the only factor over here is time, because as I always say, the truth will always prevail. It's only a matter of time. Today's show is called From Conspiracy Theory to Conspiracy Fact. What theories have come true over the years? And this is going to make a lot of people very happy that are watching right now, because you finally have a video to show people that once called you crazy. The purpose of what I do is not just to preach to the choir. The purpose of what I do is to speak to people who don't yet understand how the dots connect and help them see clearer. It's not to judge. It's not to call anybody stupid or blind or sheep or anything like that. That's not what we do here. What we do here is treat everybody as a human being, because everybody has the right to believe in whatever they want. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. But everybody also has the right to be informed. And when we're informed, that's when we can become aware. When we're informed, that's when we're able to take proper guided action. So we're going to let some more people tune in. I see people from all around the world tuning in live right now, and I'm going to let you know what we're going to be doing here today, because we're covering some incredible topics: natural disasters, human trafficking, Antarctica, really big topic, extraterrestrial life, this whole financial collapse and the status of the economy, where we're at, TLS, past updates, and what is now coming to fruition. Before I dive into that, I want to remind each and every one of you to watch today's show till the very end, because today I am giving away another $555 in honor of the Pay It Forward campaign. For those of you who don't know what that is and want a chance to win, here's how it works. It's very, very simple. Everything that I do, everything that the Unified Organization stands for, is all about making this world a better place. How do we represent humanity in the brightest light possible? And how do we give resources to people to pay it forward? Paying it forward to make this world a better place. I can't say enough. Money is a tool that can be used for evil, and money is a tool that can be used to help a lot of people. I want to start going to the latter and use it in a positive way, reframe our perspective on it. So what I've been doing over the past month or two, and what I'm doing today, is the Pay It Forward segment. At the end of today's live show, I'm going to be picking somebody live from the audience today. All you have to do is enter your email, whatever email you want, in the live chat right now. Enter your name, enter your email. I have my team watching. We're going to pick one at random. And at the end of today's live show, we're going to pick a winner that's going to win $555 that we're going to send straight to you with no strings attached and no catch whatsoever. All we ask, and all I ask, is that you use that in a unique way, in a creative way, in a way that can make this world a better place. So again, I can't say enough. We're going to need to know your email so we can reach out to you. We're going to need you to drop that in the comments. And from there, we will be picking a winner. Beyond that, also drop in the comments where you're from, so people can see across the board how far and wide we come from all around the world, in countries absolutely everywhere. I look forward to choosing a winner today, and I look forward to sharing that $555 with a lucky winner today. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel for future Pay It Forward segments, because that's how we choose winners moving forward. Anybody that's subscribed to my YouTube channel will have the chance to win. All righty. With that, again, we're going to dive into all of these topics. I want to remind you all a few things. Number one, make sure to join me on Telegram. There's a link in the description below. Join me on Telegram. That's where I give daily updates. Make sure to check out Unified Healing at unifiedhealing.com to find a Unified Healing location nearest to you. Over 300 locations in 40 countries around the world. And make sure to check out Unified TV at unified.tv with the link in the description below. And the most exciting part of this whole thing for me is an event that I'm putting together now called the Transformation All you have to do is go check out jasonchirca.com/transformation. It's a huge event that I'm putting together. I'll speak more about it at the end of this video. There's limited seating, limited capacity. Make sure to enter your email on that page so we can reach out to you and let you know when tickets are available before they sell out, because this one is going to go very, very fast. So make sure to check that out. And I look forward to experiencing the transformation with each and every one of you. You can learn more at jasonchirca.com/transformation. Now, let's dive in to this incredible segment today, all about turning conspiracy theories into conspiracy facts. The first topic we're going to start with is, let's start with the economy. A lot of you have questions regarding the economy. What's going on? How do we know what to do? What's going to crash? Is it just a hoax? Is the economy going to crash? Or is that really just something that's too far-fetched and it's never going to happen? Well, I want to tie back a few videos from the disclosure series and then show you some headlines that are coming out now in terms of certain actions that are being taken, because most people don't know about this and everybody needs to know about this. I love how when I first started the disclosure series, a lot of people were like, what is this person talking about? You know, there's no way, it's too far-fetched. There were a lot of people calling it conspiracy. There's no way, it's impossible. Well, in disclosure part 6, I believe, there was a portion where Ray was speaking about the economic collapse. I'm going to show you that portion right now so you guys understand what I'm talking about. And then we're going to connect it to real-time events of what's happening right now. Check this out. A lot of people are speaking about UFS, the quantum financial system, Masara, Jasara. What's going on?
QFS is very real. It's already in motion. You can check with your banker. He will tell you. Or maybe not your banker, but his boss. But it's already in motion. Predictions were made by many people that before this past election, chaos is going to come. Well, chaos is here. It's all going to continue. Corruption is going to continue. This facade about Republicans and Democrats is going to continue. And people are going to continue to watch CNN, Fox News, and think they know everything. And the game will continue. The circus will continue.
How do you see that changing? I mean, Democrat, Republican, the circus that you're calling a circus, where does it end exactly? What needs to happen? We hear the emergency broadcast system is going to broadcast mass arrests happening around the world. Where do you see this change occur?
Financially, you're heading up to a major, major disaster. And instead of people going out and revolting, they're basically going into their home and they're waiting for Jesus to show up. Well, he's not going to show up unless you're going to do something about it.
So here's what's interesting. A lot of people, the skeptics, and this is who I'm talking to right now, because there are certain targets for certain shows so we can reach different audiences and make things very clear. They said, no way. You know, the stock market just works the way the stock market works, and this is all nonsense, and there's no way that any of that could ever happen. You guys ever heard of The Big Short? The Big Short is that movie where you had one guy shorting an entire market and it came to fruition. Everybody thought he was crazy. And it was the craziest move that actually came to fruition. That same guy just did this. The Big Short investor, Michael Burry, just made a $1.6 billion bet against the stock market. Just to put that into perspective, that's 92% of his firm's assets, all in one place. Now, to place a put, which is an options contract, a put on the market is a very, very big deal, because you're not just shorting something. You're placing a certain expiration date saying that by X date, and that date has not been disclosed yet, not to my knowledge at least, it's not that far out. He's betting with 92% of his firm's assets, all in on something that can go to zero, that the stock market is crashing. Do you understand how powerful and big that is, that's a very, very, very big deal. The guy went all in, and he was right on one of the biggest moments in history in 2008. So we need to be aware of these things and understand that there is a problem going on right now. And in all chaos, there is opportunity. So I don't want you guys to hear what I'm saying and say, whoa, 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 fear mongering. No. Fear mongering is speaking about something to make you feel fear and induce fear for no reason. Making you aware of a situation before it happens is the intelligent thing to do, so you can take advantage of a certain situation and make sure that you're not taken advantage of. That's my job. My job is to make sure that each and every one of you are looked out for. That means that we need to let you know about these things. It's very, very apparent that in times of chaos, in times of distress, there are huge opportunities. The problem is that certain people in power have taken those opportunities and used them in negative ways. Meaning destroying neighborhoods, lighting places on fire in order to depreciate the value and go buy land. And I'm not talking about places. I'm not going to name places. Everybody can come down to their own conclusions on that, because it's not just recent. It's been happening for a long time. People need to understand these things. Again, it's not far-fetched to say that there may be corruption in the world. We've seen it back in the day. We've seen it with the way that they recall cars. I forgot which car it was. I think it was the Ford, one of the Ford cars. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but they had to recall their gas tanks because they were blowing up. And you know, the formula that they have to say, do we recall the car or not, is not based on if there's a problem. They actually weigh how much will it cost us to recall the car, and how many people may die if we don't, and how much will it cost us in court and settlements. True story. And let's just say that it costs $50 million to recall the car. I'm just giving numbers, but $40 million or $45 million to not recall the car. Some people are going to die and they're going to pay in court settlements. They have people that actually formulate these things. And if their formulations and their equations tell them, that's going to cost us 45 and that's going to cost us 50, it has nothing to do with human life. It has to do with stock price. So if that's happened in the past, and these are open public cases, these are not conspiracy theories, these are open public cases, then don't you think that history may be able to repeat itself? And it could be happening right now, just like they didn't know that back then, but we know that today. What do you think we're going to know in 20 years from now, declassified? Up until recently, MK Ultra was a conspiracy theory. Nobody believed it. But now the CIA declassified it. And they said, no, we did it. We did it. But we stopped it in 1972. If you don't know what I'm talking about, all you have to do is Project MK Ultra, not even on DuckDuckGo, go on Google, and what you'll see will blow your mind. It literally tells it to you in your face. Declassified projects. Project MK Ultra was an illegal human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the US CIA and intended to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken people and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological trauma. Start date 1953, end date 1973. Participant, Central Intelligence Agency, location, United States. So they're admitting it. This is not a secret. They're saying it ended in 1973. I'm not going to say whether it did or didn't. I'm just going to ask the question. Do you really think it did? How do we know that it did? How do we know that what they learned throughout that project isn't now being implemented through our mainstream media, through how they do certain things on news channels? Because I'm sure many of you have probably seen the clips of different news channels all saying the same thing over and over and over again. There's a script. There's a script from a central tower that's given to the so-called decentralized networks, and they're not. They're owned by the same people, and we know that as well. This is all public information, everything that I'm sharing right now. This is all public information. So I'm never going to sit here and tell you something that I can't show unless I do. And I say, listen, I can't prove it to you. So it's up to you if you want to take my word for it or not. For example, some things having to do with operations, having to do with TLS, let's say. I can't show you documentation on that. I know it's happening because in some cases I'm involved. I see what's going on. I'm giving briefings. I'm given briefs. I know the information. I'm asked to share it sometimes and so on and so forth. That you can call a theory all you want until you start seeing the ramifications of them. So let's go to the second one, natural disasters. This is a very sensitive topic, so I'm going to speak lightly on this for obvious reasons, because I can't go too deep into it. If you want to learn more about this, you can go to unified.tv. There's a link in the description below. You can learn more about it. As a matter of fact, there's a show that I put out yesterday, an interview with SG Anon, Maui fires, lockdowns, and what's to come. Again, I'm not going to speak on that on this platform, but that's a powerful 45-minute interview that everybody should watch. It's on Unified TV. Download the app, sign in, sign up, go check it out, watch this interview and everything else on the platform. But this is a very, very interesting one. Maui fires, lockdowns, and what's to come, featuring SG Anon. But let's go deeper into this topic for a sec. So we're talking about natural disasters. We know that there are weather modification technologies out there. They speak about them publicly. It's not a secret. Again, what I'm telling you right now is not a theory. There are things like cloud seeding. There are things where they want to start using lasers openly. They speak about this publicly to shift certain frequencies within the stratosphere and the ionosphere to move how certain things work, make it rain, make it dry, make it hot, make it cold. You can't do something like that without a problem. It's exactly like the current, to an extent, medical system works, breaking down the human body to many, many different parts and forgetting its interconnectivity. And when you forget its interconnectivity, well, you can make a pill that's really good for your acne, but it's going to destroy your liver. So now we're doing that only on a global scale. Instead of the human body, it's happening to planet Earth. Yeah, let's change the weather over here. Let's change the climate over there. Well, there are impacts to something like that when you do that. There are consequences to something like that when you do it. And the consequences are not anything that we even know completely. We just know that there could be a very, very big problem. And there are even videos of people like, I think his name is John Brennan. He was the former head of the CIA. It's a public video. This isn't a secret. He says, we have something called stratospheric aerosol injections. Look it up. They call it SAIs, stratospheric aerosol injections. And the idea is to spray and inject the ionosphere and the stratosphere with aerosol to create a certain blanket over the planet, and then eventually use that not just to so-called mitigate climate change and global warming and all that, but beyond all of that, they're now saying we're going to be using it to change the weather in certain parts of the world. And this last part of the sentence is very important. He says, and you can look this up and you'll find the video. I would get it for you right now, but this is all coming from the dome right now. It's just happening as we speak. So I didn't prepare for this video specifically. But he says, at the expense of other nations and other countries, meaning they will face opposition from other nations and other countries because doing one thing in one part of the planet can be at the expense of another. So these are things to keep in mind. They're very, very important that people don't think about, that people don't understand, that people don't even comprehend right now, because it's so far-fetched for the common man to even think about natural disasters that may or may not be created. And I'm not saying if they are or they're not. I'm just saying may or may not be created. So check this out. This is a video from, let me just make sure it's the right one. This is a video from the disclosure series. I think it was part 2, if I'm not mistaken. And again, everybody at the time said, crazy, no way. And lo and behold, things are happening here. Check this out.
I don't know if you're paying attention lately. There's a lot of natural disasters. Everything that you see, for example, the floods in Australia that happened recently, everything you see there is man-made. For them to create a tsunami, it's very simple. If you remember, we spoke about EMLP. That's the technology that they have. You could use nuclear bombs to create tsunamis. Look what happened in Tonga a few months ago. We were supposed to get a tsunami on the east coast of the United States, especially New York Harbor to Boston Harbor. I'm talking about a tsunami that the world never heard or seen before. It was stopped.
How do you stop and reduce natural disaster? Better yet, how did you stop what was supposed to hit New York and Boston?
So people saw that and they're like, what kind of nonsense are you talking about? This sounds like a whole big theory to me. And what we're seeing right now is disasters that have never happened before, that experts are coming to the table right now and they're saying, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't happen according to our natural weather patterns. This is not normal. There's something else going on. Now, of course, they blame it on other things, and we're not going to speak about those other things. But you tell me, how do fires start in such calculated ways if they're supposed to be wild? Just think about that for a second. There are a lot of witnesses talking about a lot of different things that 2 years ago they called crazy. Today, they're shutting people up. They're silencing those people. How come? We need to ask these questions. You want to have a little laugh? Go to the New York Post's Instagram, NY Post on Instagram, and look at what they just said about the most recent wildfires around the world. And then go to the comments. And you will find exactly what the people know, but what the mainstream media will never come out and admit. Because there are certain narratives, there are certain agendas. We need to be awake to those narratives and agendas. And the way that we do that is by understanding exactly who is behind those media channels. And it's not that many people. It is not that many people at all. These are just some headlines. Australia is getting hit very hard. Australian fires had bigger impact on climate than COVID-19 lockdowns in 2020. This was from 2021. Let's keep going. Smoke from Australian bushfires depleted ozone layer by up to 5% in 2020. Australians urged to prepare for most significant bushfire season since Black Summer. Interesting. Extreme floods leads to deaths and evacuations in Australia. Now we go to Canada. How Canada's record wildfires got so bad so fast. Canadian fires will blanket Minnesota with dangerous smoke over the next 2 days. It happened in New York City as well. Canada faces long, tough summer of wildfires with even hotter temperatures. You know, it was interesting. I wasn't in New York at the time, but everybody that I knew, because I grew up over there, all my family, all my friends, everybody over there, they said it didn't smell like regular smoke. It smelled like there were some sort of chemicals in there. It smelled different. It didn't smell like a wildfire. What's going on here? And it was in that moment where a lot of the people that called me crazy 2 or 3 years ago started calling me for answers. I don't have those answers. I don't know if anybody has those answers. All I have is questions. And my question is, what the hell is going on here? Because this is not normal. What you're seeing around the world right now is not normal. We need to start asking questions more. Not enough people ask questions. They rely on experts to tell them things. And that's great. But what happens when the experts become corrupt? What happens when the experts become controlled? I say time and time again, don't listen to what I say. Hear what I say, filter it through your own discernment, filter it through your own lens, and you tell me if it makes sense to you after connecting the dots in your own way. My job is not to tell you how to connect the dots. My job is to ask questions. That's all I do. It's asking questions from beginning to end. Let's go to another really interesting topic, human trafficking. A lot of people said, What are you talking about? It's not a big industry. What did we learn with the Sound of Freedom movie? It's an industry that's about 7 times bigger than the airline industry. $150 billion a year, while the airline industry does $22 billion a year. You understand how big of an industry that is? And it's a black market illegal trade impacting not just adults, but our children. Sound of Freedom was based on a true story. What did they try to do? Conspiracy theory. Everybody's crazy. How do you take a true story and flip it into something like that unless you're afraid? And I'm not going to go further on what I mean by that. But you tell me what kind of person would be afraid of the movie Sound of Freedom coming out. I'll leave it there. Think about that. So about a year and a half ago, there were trailers, there were interviews coming out. Specifically, when it came to the interviews that I did with Ray from the TLS organization, he was speaking about operations having to do with children. And again, I'm going to have to be very vague over here. You guys can watch that interview in full on Unified TV. It's part of the disclosure series. I think it's in disclosure 1, 2, and 3, where he speaks about this specifically. But he was speaking about in-depth operations. People said, there's no way, you're crazy, because he was speaking about numbers in the millions. Numbers in the millions when it comes to how many people, how many children are trafficked every single year. Now, right over here, I'm going to pull something up for you guys. If you just go anywhere, one of the main things that you will see is 2 million children being trafficked every single year. I made a video about it. It's cited. It's all there. 2 million children. Why do you think that the campaign for Sound of Freedom was 2 million for 2 million? And it was very simple, because it was 2 million tickets in honor of the 2 million children. And nobody wanted to acknowledge that reality. Now, not only did we do the 2 million tickets, we did over 16 million tickets, because the human spirit is stronger than any shot to silence the truth. When people sit there and understand what's going on and understand that they were in a coma of awareness for so long, number one, it's very hard to face the truth. That's why people call these things crazy. That's another thing. When it comes to conspiracy theorists and all that, when somebody calls you that, number one, maybe sometimes some people really are just speaking a bunch of garbage. Not saying nobody does that. But the defense mechanism of the person that generally goes and calls somebody that is one coming from a very understandable place. If you were taught to believe something your entire life, and then somebody like me or Joe Schmo comes in and says, you're wrong, that's not right, and everything that you thought was actually here to save you is doing the exact opposite. The obvious expression, the obvious response and reaction will be, no, you're crazy. Because if they were to accept what we were saying, if they were to accept what you were saying, what Joe Schmo was saying, they have to accept that their entire belief system is a lie. And that's not easy for people to do. So we have to have compassion for people when they come up with these things and when they say those things. We have to have compassion for people for the fact that they don't know that the Central Intelligence Agency coined the term conspiracy theorist after the JFK assassination. That's a fact. We are being controlled. We have been for a very long time. And now people are waking up to that reality. More and more people are coming to understand the truth. And before you face the truth, we first come to understand, well, wait a second, this is too dark for me to accept because it will break everything that I thought to be true. So the first obvious response and reaction is to reject it. It makes sense. It's how human psychology works. Let's go into Antarctica, and then we'll go into extraterrestrial life. Antarctica, Operation Bluebeam. How does all of this tie in together? Before we go into this, I'm going to share another trailer from the Disclosure series. Check this out. Pull this up right here.
You've been to Antarctica.
Yes. It's really tall.
Were you allowed to be there?
Yeah.
So why am I showing you that? Because recently there was somebody on the Sean Ryan show, somebody that worked in Antarctica, somebody that came to blow the whistle on certain things going on there. Now, Antarctica has a lot of theories behind it, a lot of things going on there. Well, we can't get there. The earth must be flat. Why aren't they letting us there? Because there's a wall. I personally don't believe that to be true. I could be wrong. I think there are other things going on in Antarctica from people who I know that have been there personally, from people who I know have undertaken operations over there, from people who I know that have been undercover over there. There are many things going on there, and not everything am I able to, of course, uncover on this video specifically for obvious reasons. But what I will say is whistleblowers are coming out now and proving those things to be true from their firsthand experience. The question is when will enough be enough in terms of what you're receiving? Because here's a common theme that I see. Everybody says we want the truth. Then they're given the truth. And then something very interesting happens. What happens is everybody says, that's not good enough. We need more. We need more. We need more. We need more. And it's going to keep going like that until we come to understand how this all really works. So I'm going to show you a video from the Sean Ryan show because this is very, very interesting. Check this out. Here it is. I've held the key, he says.
Physically held a key that opened every single door in the facility. I had complete access to every compartment they manufactured.
What are you blowing the whistle on?
That there are technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet. Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get in their vocabulary fast. The ice cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope. And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapon system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand.
That last part was a little dangerous here. I'm trying to be careful. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I'm hesitating here a little bit because there's a lot that I want to say and I can't say what I want to say for, again, obvious reasons, but I'm doing my best here. So if you see me thinking, I'm thinking because I have to process and filter live as we speak. It's not the easiest job to do. So Antarctica is a really, really interesting thing. There's a lot of things coming out about Antarctica, and it's already been coming out throughout the Disclosure series. And a lot of people say, well, how do we know? How do we know it's true? Well, how do you know anything's true? What's proof to you? What's evidence to you? Is a picture good? Is a video good? Is a whistleblower good? Are none of those good enough? Do you have to be there yourself? Maybe if you're not a believer, you're going to say that somebody put something in your drink and you're hallucinating. You understand what I'm trying to get at. The truth is out there. Everybody's like, we want disclosure. Dude, disclosure has been here for a very long time. Information has been out for a very long time. I don't know what the hell we're waiting for. The information is here. The question is, are we listening, hearing, and are we accepting or opposing it completely? Because the more we choose to see and understand, the more we will be able to see moving forward. Why do you think we've been able to see more over the past 3 years than we have over the past 100? Because people are becoming more open. And as people become more open, people are able to see more. It's a very simple concept. It's a very, very simple concept. So when it comes to Antarctica, there's also tying now into extraterrestrial life. There's a whole other thing going on there where they used to call that whole thing a theory too. ETs don't exist. There's no way. Did you guys know that there is an ambassador in the United Nations? Not that I support anything having to do with that, but there is an ambassador in the United Nations for extraterrestrial life. She's Malaysian. I'll share my screen. I'll show you. It's very, very funny. And she was appointed back, I think, in 2012 or 2013 or something like that. I was in shock when somebody showed it to me a few years ago. Check this out. Let me just share my screen, and we're going to do it live together, okay? UN Ambassador ET Life. Okay, there we go. This is the woman. That's what she looks like. You could read all about it. Her name is Mazlan Othman. She is everything having to do with outer space affairs, and they are calling her the UN Ambassador for Extraterrestrial Life. Think about that. Think about how crazy that is. That was already done in 2012. That was done a long time ago. And yet, only up until recently, specifically more like 2017, but even more so in 2020, they didn't even acknowledge publicly the existence on the media. Now they're starting to acknowledge the existence of there may be other life here. Now, it's funny because a few years ago, you speak about that. You're crazy. There's no way. It doesn't exist. It's impossible. Today, we're living in a whole different world. It's no longer they don't exist. They exist, but now they're dangerous. That's the new spin on what's going on. I showed you guys this video once. I'm going to show it to you again because this needs to be very, very clear.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General.
Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured, and the activity
By UAPs or by people within the federal government? Both. I would say, and I've told people that you have to know where to look. They're not going to divulge it to you because of classification rules. But if you know where to look and who to talk to, which is exactly where Mr. Gresham point you, then you have them.
So let me first start off by saying something very exciting. Unified TV is now producing a new movie called A Threat to National Security. Threat to National Security is where we went in the flesh, in person, to Washington, D.C. We had a team go out there, an incredible team, to go interview these whistleblowers, the people that you're seeing on that video, congressmen and congresswomen, to bring out the truth and how they're trying to flip it. It's called A Threat to National Security. And it's all about understanding how we need to start asking the question, where's the threat? What's going on? Why are they trying to flip this now? A few years ago, ETs didn't exist. Today, they exist, but they're dangerous. They're a threat to national security. Why? What's going on here? What do we need to know? So that movie is going to cover all of it. We have some incredible whistleblowers coming on, and we're producing real movies and real series where they tell you everything that they know. And we take that and make sure everybody understands if there's ever a twist of somebody trying to control a narrative, we help you see through that. But ultimately, it's up to you and each and every one of you to filter it through your own discernment. So that's going to be A Threat to National Security that's coming out sometime over the next month or two, probably closer to 2 or 3 months, actually, if I want to be realistic. But a lot of things coming out. A lot of things coming out about extraterrestrial life. And right now we need to be aware because With the threat to national security, there's also certain narratives that are being, they're going to come invade. There is a problem. We're being primed and prepped for that right now. Many of you have probably heard about Operation Bluebeam. For those of you who don't know what that is, I'm going to share a video right now to make it very simple to understand. Check this out.
Are you speaking about what many people referred to as Operation Bluebeam?
There's an operation called the Phoenix Light Project. Tens of thousands of people were witness to a craft about a mile long, a mile in the sky. People saw it. This is a hologram. You're looking at a hologram. It's so real, you feel you could reach out and touch it. Over 10,000 witnesses saw that. They believe they saw an aircraft. These are coming. Now imagine tomorrow, you're going to see thousands of aircraft, not as big, smaller, but aircrafts coming in, flying all over the United States, Europe, whatever it is, and then you're going to be attacked. But those attacks will happen with real missiles or real planes, you understand? They're going to say, my government is right. They want to protect me. You declare an emergency. You declare one world government. Nobody will resist. People will say thank you. And that's how you take over. They have the technology that can do this tomorrow morning. The information that you were being fed that bad ETs are coming to get you, nonsense, obvious, doesn't exist.
So again, all of that is on Unified TV right now, but that's more important now than it's ever been. More important now than it's ever been, because if we don't get our facts straight right now, if we don't understand what's going on and make it super, super clear, we're going to have a problem. My job is to give everybody the awareness that we need to get through this. Remember one thing, I've said this in the past and I'll say it again. Lori Ladd actually inspired this line. Division, or I should say confusion, creates division. Clarity creates unity. Again, confusion creates division and clarity creates unity. We are here to unite in a good way, in a positive way, not in a way to control everybody, in a way where we can come together and support one another through proper and clear guidance, proper and clear awareness of what's truly going on around the world. Again, 2 years ago, they called what I just showed you crazy, and today it's becoming more and more and more of a reality. It's gone from a theory to a fact. And we need to understand what's going on here. We need to be clear on what's going on here. And I need each and every one of you to be a soldier in this army with me, but not one of violence. An army of light, an army of awareness, an army of human beings and souls that come together to share the truth no matter what happens. That's how we change this world. There's no place anymore for division. There's no place for arguments about little nuances of things. It's okay if we don't all agree, but we need to stand together and we need to be extremely loud so people hear the truth, because just like the mainstream media plants seeds, we, the power of the people, have the ability to do the same exact thing, only our seeds must remain pure instead of the poison that we've been being fed for a very, very long time. So there are a lot of different topics over here in terms of what's being brought up, in terms of what people need to know about. We've spoken about Antarctica. We've spoken about the economic collapse. We've spoken about human trafficking. We've spoken about natural disasters. We've spoken about Operation Bluebeam. And the last part that I'm going to bring up over here is interesting. And it has to do with a TLS update that came out in April. I can't speak about it over here, but if you go to jasonshirka.com/TLS, this is the most recent one. But when you scroll down and you watch the TLS update from April 4th of 2023, they're warning you about something. And you know, when I came out with that information, I got a lot of backlash, not just from the mainstream, but a lot of backlash from our community. They said, how can you talk about an upcoming I can't speak about it here, but something that's upcoming, you're choosing the wrong timeline, you're aligning us with something negative. And my answer was very simple. I'm not aligning us with anything. I'm telling you what we're aligned with right now. I'm telling you what's going to happen in the very near future and what their future plans are so we can foil their plans through awareness, because the only way that certain plans can come to fruition is if we lack the awareness of what those plans are, the truth of those plans I'm talking about. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing what's going on, but everybody is starting to be afraid of new variants. Everybody's wearing masks. We're getting ready for something very interesting that's very open on the mainstream media right now. And they're not hiding it. If you watch that update from April 4th and you understand the principles of what's being shared in that update with a so-called outbreak in the future, in quotes, you'll understand why I'm telling you to watch it and how it coincides to what's going on right now. So just to make it real clear, masks, they're being mandated in places around the world. Lockdowns, they may be around the corner. I hope they aren't, but I'm just being a realistic person. I'm going by what they're telling us they're doing very publicly at this point. The question is, what are we going to choose to do about it? This is the moment of truth right now for the world to see if the past 3 years were worth nothing or worth everything. I posted something yesterday and I said this: masks are coming back into effect. Lockdowns are around the corner. This is the moment of truth to see how awake humanity truly is. Remember, this is not up to them. This is up to us. May we all stand up and do the right thing this time around. I'm ready. Are you? And that's a question to everybody. We need to be aware of what's going on. The only way that we change the world is through awareness. It's not through violence. It's not through war. It's not through any of those things. As a matter of fact, those things will perpetuate it. The greatest weapon is awareness. And that's why it's being weaponized from the other side. Why do you think things are being silenced, shut out, deleted? Because certain individuals understand that information is a stepping stone to knowledge. Knowledge is a stepping stone to awareness, and awareness is the key to freedom. But if we don't have it, it's what will imprison us forever. We need to be aware of what's going on. We need to be aware of the truth, no matter how hard it may be to face. A lot of people don't want to face the truth because it may go against what they've been taught was true. We don't have time for that right now. We don't have time for any of that, and we cannot afford that at this moment. None of us. Right now, we're dealing as a team, and that team is called humanity. It's about doing everything we can possibly do to wake ourselves up. To wake up means to become aware. To wake up means to stand up for your fellow human being, not just the one who agrees with you, but to help the one that cannot see through certain brainwashing. Because ultimately, that is not their fault. It's the world that most people, if not all of us, were brought up into, and most people do not have the proper guidance to get out of that. That's where we come in hand. Teachers, to raise awareness, to speak fearlessly out of pure love. This is about love, unity, and compassion for all. There is nobody outside of humanity. There is nobody outside of life, whether you're good, evil, an extraterrestrial, or an interdimension. I don't care what you are and what you call yourself and what other beings are out there. We are all connected to life. And there is no opposite to life, because death is a part of that cycle. It's the transformation of life. So I ask you all today, do what you can to make this world a better place, not just by creating your own cult and community of people you love that agree with you, because that creates echo chambers. If we want to change this world quickly, if we want to catalyze our ascension as fast as humanly possible, what we're going to need to do is one thing that's very, very simple, but for some, very hard to do. It's to speak to the people that don't quite yet understand, not to force things down their throat, but to help them see what's going on, to give them the seeds, but not force that seed to flourish, because all you can do is water it. If you water it too much, you will drown it. In other words, they will turn away and call you crazy. If you don't water it enough, well, you're not really doing it a service. Your job is the farmer of awareness. We're all farmers here. We're all creating something here. We plant the seed, we water it, and we move on. And I'm speaking from experience here. People will respect you for speaking your mind. People will respect you for standing up, even if they don't agree with you, because most people don't have the balls to do that. We don't afford that anymore. We cannot afford not to do that anymore. We cannot afford to be fearful of what may happen. We have to be calculated in what we do. But we're no longer living in times where we can afford to think, what is my mom or dad or brother or sister or colleague or boss or son or daughter or friend or whatever it may be think about me and say about me if I speak my truth? If we keep living out of that fear, believe me, we are not going to go to a good world. If you think it's bad now, it will get a whole lot worse. We cannot afford that. Right now is the time to speak out. Right now is the time to do it out of love. And right now is the time to unite with the utmost compassion for absolutely everybody and understanding where each and every person comes from. Ultimately, 99% of us want the same thing. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or anything in between. I don't do politics. I think it's stupid. But whatever you identify with, we all want the same thing. Everybody wants a good life, food on their table for their family, and a peaceful place to do whatever it is that you want to do. No matter who you are and what you believe and what you identify with, that is what the majority of human beings want. And the only way to get there is not by attaching to your identity. It's by honoring the label that you've given yourself, but understanding that you're something a whole lot bigger than that. And that something is called a human being. That something is called life. That's what Unified is all about. That's why I give my all. I've dedicated my life. I do everything that is humanly possible to get this message out, and I will never stop, because this is how we change the world. By unifying people, by bringing people together. No matter your religion, your race, your age, your ethnicity, your culture, honor all of those things, but respect and love everybody at their core for what we truly are. Forgive yourself and forgive others who have wronged you. That is your key to freedom, and that is how you transform. So, I love going on those little rants, because when you see me not looking at anything, which is my favorite way of doing things, that means I'm speaking from my heart, my soul coming through. And oh boy, do we need to hear these messages all around the world. We need to hear these messages. We need to come together. So, first and foremost, thank you all for tuning in today. From conspiracy theory to conspiracy fact, I'm going to tell you the absolute truth. I held back on a lot of things. When I planned this in my head, I had a lot of things I wanted to do and wanted to say, and then I realized that I couldn't do those things, not here at least. But that is what Unified TV is for. So first and foremost, before we get to the magic part, the very, very fun part of this live show, announcing the winner, choosing the winner from somebody live right now, right here, to win $555. I have a few announcements for each and every one of you. Number one, Let me just pull these up. Number one, make sure to join me on Telegram with the link in the description below. Number two, make sure to check out Unified Healing and find a center near you. It's helping tons of people all around the world in over 40 countries, over 300 centers, unifiedhealing.com, link in the description below. Number three, and very important, make sure to check out Unified TV. Unified TV is coming out with mind-blowing and mind-bending content that is changing everybody who checks it out. This is a big one, Maui fires, lockdowns, and what's to come with SGN. It's a very, very powerful interview that I encourage everybody to watch. He comes with facts. He comes with evidence. He comes with documented research that is backed up. So make sure to check out all of that. Make sure to check out that interview and everything else on the platform. For those of you who have not seen Unified TV lately, we do have a new app. Make sure to download the app on the App Store. Available on iPhone, Android, your smart TV, whatever it may be, it's available absolutely everywhere. And the very fun thing on Unified TV right now is not only it's extremely accessible, but we have some awesome shows. Portal to the Pleiadians is our new featured show. When you're logged in, you'll see all our new releases: Divine Intervention, a movie by David Icke; The Nature of Reality, 13-part series by David Icke; The Road to Dharma, incredible, by the way, multi-part series; The Highest Path, the Power Tour movie; Scalar Yoga with the EE system transmission on screen, and many, many other things that are going on and a part of this platform consistently. Our films and documentaries are awesome. We have tons of them, and this library is growing all the time. So make sure to check it out and make sure to take advantage of this. There are big, big things coming out over the next month or two and beyond, but I'm focusing on the next month or two because this one is very, very exciting. In addition to that, one of the things, and the last thing that I'm going to announce before getting to the Pay It Forward campaign of the $555 winner, is something that I'm extremely, extremely excited for. This is my first time speaking about it on YouTube. It's an event called The Transformation. You can start getting your tickets in 15 days, September 9th. I rented out an entire hotel in Orlando, Florida, to bring our unified family together. So if you are interested in attending this event, this is a 3-day immersive, transformative event, curated itinerary, curated schedule. I'm leading the entire thing. You can get your tickets starting on September 9th. But if you are a Unified TV member or a Unified Healing Center owner, you can email Ashley, ASHLEY, Ashley@unified.com, and you can get your tickets now. I give that priority to Unified TV members and Unified Healing Center owners because tickets to this event are limited. I expect them to sell out very quickly, and I want to make sure that the supporters of Unified TV and Unified Healing have a chance to get those tickets before September 9th. So if you are one of those people, just email Ashley, ASHLEY, @unified.com, and we'll be able to get your ticket immediately. It is going to be an incredible event. 3 days, 2 nights, 1 breakthrough. That's all it takes. That's how I'm putting this whole thing out. Day 1, connection. Day 2, diving deep. Day 3, breaking free. As you can see, some of these days are 12 hours long. You can see the full schedule over here, and you get incredible things with it. So, of course, 1 seat at the Transformation Seminar. We have an awesome welcome package and workbook customized for this event. Lifetime access to all recordings at the event. Food and water, clean food and water is included. A 5-year membership to Unified TV is going to be given to every single person that attends this event. The EE system will be there to give you a full 3-day transmission throughout this entire event. A signed copy of my newest book, Accessing Awareness, that I'm going to be giving to all attendees before this book is released to the public. And this is one of my favorites. 1 lucky person will be going home with an energy enhancement system cube valued at roughly $15,000 that I'm going to be raffling off on stage at the event live. And you will be going home with that technology free for your own use in whatever way and however you'd like to use it, and many, many other things. So make sure to check it out. Tony Robbins gave me a beautiful quote about my work. So did Damian Wynn and Danielle Page. You could check out this landing page, frequently asked questions on the bottom. Make sure to enter your email to be notified over here. On September 9th, when tickets come out, we will send you an email. And if you do want to get your ticket right now before they sell out on that day, and you are a Unified TV member or a Unified Healing Center owner, make sure to email Ashley at unified.com, and she will get in contact with you to help you get your ticket immediately. With that being said, we are going to move into the very, very fun part of this live, and that is the Pay It Forward campaign, $555. $555 is how we pay it forward at the end of certain videos. It's something that I wanted to do to give back to as many people as possible. We've already done so with, I think, like 4, 5, 6 people, something like that. And now we are in for another one. This is going to be awesome. I look forward to it. So already, I already have the name because I got a text message with the name. But before I say the name, if you're the winner, what are you going to choose to do with this money? Comment. I'm going to read the comments out loud. I want to inspire people. What are you going to choose to do with this money if you are the winner of the $555 prize? Let's see. I know a lot of people are saying, good luck, everyone. Thank you so much. Best luck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Animal advocacy. Very cool. Get my whole family a detox bundle. Give $111 to 5 people here. I like that. Support everything going on in Maui. Big one. Dream to have a home EES. Give to homeless. Go towards my next EE system treatment. Donate. This is awesome. This is great. This is beautiful. Pay it forward. I'd love to assist the homeless. Buy an EE machine, a unified healing center. Take my cat to EES. Help my friends. Give to charity. Keep my house. That's a big one. Help my family. Pay my bills. Donate to animals. Sound of Freedom tickets. This is awesome. You see, this is why we're doing the Pay It Forward campaign, because we want people to be inspired to pay it forward. And by the way, if you happen to be a person that's in need, pay it forward to yourself. Pay it forward and help yourself, your family, whatever you need. Everything works with divine intervention, divine timing with this. So we are going to announce the winner right now. We're going to get a little drum roll here. I don't know if you can hear that because my microphone is up here, but the winner of today's Pay It Forward campaign, the winner of today's, I'm just messing with you guys. The winner, I'm just going to keep extending it, of today's $555 prize, a part of the Pay It Forward campaign, is William Finnan. William Finnan, we have your email. My team will be in contact. Congratulations for winning the $555 prize. Thank you all so much for being here. Congratulations, William. If you do want to be considered in the raffle moving forward for this $555 prize, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. We pick from the entire list of subscribers. And in this case, when somebody is live, we're choosing from one of you. Congratulations, William. Make sure to use that money in a conscious way, in a way that will pay it forward, in a way that will make this world a better place. By the way, I am asking all Pay It Forward winners to send us a little video of what they've chosen to do with that money so we could put a little compilation together and show you all with full transparency how this money is being used by incredible people all around the world. Congratulations, William. Again, we have your email. My team will be in contact. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Unified TV. Make sure to find a Unified Healing Center somewhere around you at unifiedhealing.com. Make sure to join me on my Telegram channel. And most importantly, because tickets are going to go very, very quickly, go to jasonshirka.com/transformation. Make sure to check out all the details about this. You could see the full schedule and see what it's all about. And from there, you can get your ticket on September 9th. Remember, your tickets are donations to the Unified World Organization so we can continue fulfilling our mission around the world. That means that every single ticket that is sold for this event is tax deductible because it is a donation to the Unified World Organization. Thank you all so much for being here. If you are a Unified TV member or a Unified Healing Center owner, or you know somebody that is, let them know that they can email Ashley@unified.com, ASHLEY@unified.com to get your tickets now instead of waiting for September 9th when this page is flooded. I look forward to this incredible event, and I look forward to the next few videos because they're going to be incredible on my YouTube channel and the next live show, whenever that may be. Congratulations, William. Thank you all very, very much. I love you all to death, and thank you all for your love and your support. I will see you all next time. And until then, stay blessed and have a beautiful day ahead.